Hello, this is my Crazy X channel. Please subscribe.
I 29 meters caught my wife 28F cheating on me with a police officer by placing a recorder in our room. We will be married 10 years this December and we have 2 boys. Story 1-2. I seriously don't know what to do. My mind is everywhere and I can't eat, I can't sleep. I've lost 10 pounds in 1 week. I know I have to make better decisions about my well-being for my kids at least, but it's just too hard to care about anything else. I can't say that it hit me out of nowhere since we have been going through rough times and I suspected something had been going on. That's why I placed that recorder in our room. I just knew something was wrong. I can't say I was an angel in our relationship either. I have cheated on her in the past while we were married. And I told her immediately when it happened and she forgave me. Time goes on, we heal, we move on. We got married at a young age. If that has anything to do with it. She admitted she cheated on me with this guy at least 5 times. I asked her why and she said it was something she did as a stress reliever from all her stress she had been having. The thing that shocked me was because even though we were in a tough place, I couldn't imagine she would be able to do that. Call me a jackass or just plain stupid, but I am willing to forgive her. My thoughts are we have 2 kids that love us so much and my oldest always is making sure we, the family, are together. I can't imagine us not all being together. I know what she did is the worst thing that could ever happen, but am willing to forgive. The problem I face is that she is doubting this whole marriage now. She wants to separate and eventually get divorced. I'm pretty sure of that. Again, me being a dumbass or stupid, I don't want that. This whole week has been the worst week in my life and I'm dying slowly inside. I need to be strong for my kids and myself, but what the duck do? I want to be angry and mad and yell, but I just can't bring myself to hate her. Sometimes I think if I did feel hate, then it would be easier to just be able to divorce now. But I still love her with my whole heart and soul. How can I move forward and be strong when there is no light at the end of the tunnel? I hate the term time will heal all because I don't want to wait. I want to know now what will happen. My sick stomach is overwhelming as I type this. TLDR, my wife of almost 10 years has cheated on me at least 5 times with a guy. I want to forgive her but seems like she doesn't want to be forgiven. How do I move on? Redditors' reactions. Redditor 1. Lawyer up. It sounds like the marriage is already over in her mind and heart. Do this for yourself and your kids. You both cheated. Try to heal, and try to be a better partner next time, if there is one. Redditor 2. I wonder if she ever really forgave you for cheating on her. 2 wrongs don't make a right, but don't be hypocritical. Marriage counseling, now. Redditor 3. I find it interesting that you mentioned, I know what she did is the worst thing that could ever happen, but am willing to forgive, when you admitted to doing the exact same thing previous in the marriage. You 2 have a seriously messed up relationship history, and I am going to take a stab into the dark here and say that your past indiscretions probably have had direct correlations to her present actions. Time does go on, as you mentioned, but healing? That is a bit more complicated. Did you ever consult a professional about this? Both personally and as a couple? You both have some serious issues and now your children are going to be the ones that are going to suffer your bad choices. Please do the best possible thing you can for the sake of them. It sounds like your eldest is already getting the something is off vibes. Redditor 4. Report this guy at his department and do his so. At least you can work on fixing the issues with your wife without you worrying that he is behind the scenes. Redditor 5. Dat payback's a motherfucker. No sympathy from me, you started it. Redditor 6. Maybe it's for the best that you 2 part. This whole thing was built on a cracked foundation. If you leave now, on decent terms, you can be good co-parents. But, if you try to fight back from a rocky relationship, including double cheating, and all the other BL shit, I think it'll sour your personalities further. That, in turn, doesn't lead to good co-parenting. Right now, you 2 know what's up, in your heart of hearts. It's just not meant to be, at this time. Separate and get some perspective from living that way for a while. When you divorce, get the kids counseling so they know it's not their fault. I wish there were words to take away your current pain. Unfortunately, there aren't. You've just got to sweat it out. When the fever breaks, you'll feel better. It's okay to feel like hell, write it out, separate, and figure out plans from there. Op answer, what do I do if I have no money to move out or to go to a different place? I never thought I would have to leave ever, and now it seems like I have no choice. She told me she didn't want me moving out until she knew I would be okay with a place, but the money just isn't there. We are the couple living paycheck to paycheck and trying to make ends meet to survive. It would be such a financial burden to deal with if I got a place to stay. How do I stay sane living in the same house as she does? Do I act normal? Do I act cold? I'm just stuck right now. Your comment was helpful. Thank you, and the kids are my world. Redditor 7, how were things different when you cheated, and what steps did you take to fix the relationship after that? How long ago was it? There is a possibility that she never recovered and there is more work that needs to be done. One of the differences you noted is you confessed and she got caught. Another is that you don't feel like she wants to put in the effort to fix the relationship. Did you put an effort to salvage and renew the marriage when you cheated? Maybe she feels that you aren't owed the effort? Whatever it is, you need to find out the root of your marriage problems. In this case, it seems clear both of you blame the other a little for seeking out outside lovers. Best of luck for your family. Op answer, the root of it all is that she blames me for getting her pregnant at such a young age, and she couldn't have a life of just being young and no responsibilities. We've talked about this. But she just needs to open her eyes now. Edit, I cheated on her 6 years ago. Redditor 8, I think you should go to your doctor, tell him the situation, and ask for some medication that will help you through these first few weeks. I'm serious. This is the sort of thing that Valium is for. Just to remove the pain a bit so you can think. I'm not talking antidepressants, I'm talking something to calm you down. Low dosage. I've had them a couple times. Once the doctor gave me one before a root canal, and let me tell you, it helps. Redditor follow up, not to be a DCK, but drug reliance is not the way to deal with the pain of loss. Yes, he will feel sad, but that's an appropriate emotional response for this situation. Redditor 9, she's cheating on you and she's telling you she wants to leave. Let her go. Get a lawyer. Redditor 10, maybe you ducked the marriage when you cheated on her in the first place. What if the kids see you unhappy together and think that all of this behavior is normal? I think you're just using the kids as an excuse to stay. Redditor 11, get a really good divorce lawyer, and follow their advice. Redditor 12, you deserve each other. Maybe see if she's into an open marriage, since you both have no qualms about ducking other people outside of your marriage. Ducking is a great stress reliever, sure beats actually working on your problems. Get what I'm saying here? You were a broken man when you cheated on her. Payback is a bitch, isn't it? Not saying it was pure revenge that made her do it, but once one partner disrespects the sanctity of marriage, it makes it so much easier for the other to when things get tough. Do yourself a favor and don't get into another exclusive relationship again. You obviously have no capability to make one work. Your attitude to your own indiscretion and then acting like you are so wrong but so in love to forgive hers just proves it. So don't act surprised when the woman you cheated on cheats on you and finds maybe that means your marriage isn't a great thing. Duh, you think? And if you two still believe you should be together and are so in love, quit hurting each other and allow yourselves to duck around. At any rate, do the rest of the world a favor and don't breed again. Do I seem harsh? Too bad, you're asking the internet for advice on how to save a marriage you disrespected from the beginning. You are feeling sorry for yourself because it came back around. Boo-hoo. For once someone reaps what they sow. That is awesome. Redditor 13, your marriage is over. Sounds like it has been for a while. You cheating on her, she cheated on you, neither of you are truly happy it seems. So, stop trying to fix it. Start trying to fix you. Be a good father and start dating again in a year's time. There's no magic fix for this, you just need to keep living and stay productive. Redditor 14, besides the usual lawyer, Facebook, gym, perhaps you can look forward and embrace this inevitable change. I am 37 years old, and if I would meet a guy much younger than me with already a 10-year marriage and a divorce after that, I'd think he would have hell lot more experience than me. Redditor 15, go to therapy and figure out what you are and what you want to do and how best to do it. I might not report the guy yet in case you can use that info for leverage. It may be you will be divorcing whether you wish it or not, so do all you can to get custody of the children and or the best deal for them you can. Sorry you are going through this. Redditor 16, I felt sorry for your relationship, such a waste. Anyway, you are both at fault. The best way finds an amicable separation without getting lawyers involved. Lawyers should be last resort. Redditor 17, I have no advice, but I'm gonna leave this Harry Potter quote for you. Happiness can be found, even in the darkest of times, if one only remembers to turn on the light. Redditor 18, you really need to talk to a criminal attorney right away. You very likely committed a crime with this surreptitious recording. Redditor 19, well, why did you cheat on her? She said she had been having stress. When people are going through any kind of severe stress, depression, etc., they look to alternatives in their day-to-day life. If there is a lack of connection that is causing her not to turn to you as a stress reliever, then you need marriage counseling. Get things straight and do what you can to save your marriage. You have 2 boys and the situation seems to me like you both care for each other and just are lost right now. Make the call ASAP and get yourself some help. Redditor 20, just so you know, be careful about using that tape in any type of divorce or legal proceeding. Even in your own home, recording anything without consent of at least one party or even both parties, in some states being recorded is of dubious legality. Story 22. Boyfriend 22M cheated on me 20F with an older woman from work. Any advice plus successful relationship stories after cheating? I am completely torn as to how to go from here. I would greatly appreciate input from fellow Redditors. This is gonna be a long gun. So begins the long story of how my boyfriend of over a year cheated on me. I first met him in college UK, although we didn't start seeing each other until a year and a half later when we both lived in the same city when I started university. When we did get together, he has been a wonderful partner to me ever since. It was the first time where I wasn't only irrationally in love with him, but I loved his qualities, his ambitions and his perspective on life. Having been previously cheated on before, he has been an advocate against infidelity, as I've found just from his manner. I trusted him and I loved him. Fast forward to a couple of months later, we were reaching our first anniversary. We had been arguing and things weren't their best for a while. He always had issues communicating. Conversely, I was always very open and verbal about my concerns, wanted to deal with them head first whilst he wanted to brush them away. Anyway, one day I noticed he was frequently on his phone and saw that he was always messaging a woman that I had never heard of before. Given the state of our relationship, I had a panic moment and checked his phone when he wasn't around. I saw that they have been having a very intense, ongoing conversation for 3 days and straight away I felt uncomfortable. I confronted him about the messages and I was open that I looked at those messages. He told me that he's just making new friends and that I have nothing to worry about. But I could tell this woman had other intentions, so I pleaded that it is making me feel uncomfortable and that I wouldn't want this to carry on. He told me he would stop and so messaged this woman that they should probably give it a rest. A month later, he's contemplating breaking up with me. I had my suspicions that he carried on his regular conversations with this woman, but I didn't want to put a strain on the relationship by interrogating him about it. He claimed that he loved me and wanted to stay with me, but he's torn with the current state of our relationship. I was completely shocked and I hadn't realized he felt so bad about it. So I gave him some space. 3 days later, he came clean to me about messaging her and that it even got sexual between them, but it did not go beyond the messaging. This woman always knew he had a partner. He showed true sorrow and disgust in his actions. He seemed like he had some kind of an epiphany regarding our relationship. Almost 2 weeks later, this woman confronted me herself, telling me that, during the 3 days of space that we decided for him to take, he had her over twice. First time they made out, the second time he gave her oral sex. He has been absolutely awful to me and I am fully aware of this fact. Now, a month and a half later, he's been showing me continuous support and has continuously showed complete remorse for his actions and that he wants to do everything he can to fix this relationship. Had he not done this, I'd have left him. But I love him and I want to give this a go. But I'm skeptical about whether this relationship can turn out a success in the long run. Could this be a make rather than break? Could it strengthen our relationship? Thoughts? Redditors' reactions. Redditor 1, why would you want to be with someone who was so quick to dismiss your feelings and search for approval from other women? He cared so little about you, that he actively sought attention from this woman, and the second you went on a break he took his chance and screwed around with her. Now that that is out of his system, he wants his cake and to eat it too. It's only a matter of time until another strumpet gets his attention and he does this to you again. Move on. You're better than this. Redditor 2, He lied to you and the woman had to come clean for him. I think the lady is on your side, and that she's personally telling you he's scum emo. I know it hurts to say. I'm sorry. Op answer, the woman was definitely not on my side. She'd been the one constantly trying to convince him to break up with me and that she would reward him with sex. Unfortunately I had to read that. I think her intention was to break us up. But you're right, it's even worse that I had to hear it from a woman like that rather than my own boyfriend. Redditor 3, the success is not buying his lies, his trickle truth telling, or his garbage. I saw that they have been having a very intense, ongoing conversation for 3 days and straight away I felt uncomfortable. I confronted him about the messages and I was open that I looked at those messages. He told me that he's just making new friends and that I have nothing to worry about. But I could tell this woman had other intentions, so I pleaded that it is making me feel uncomfortable and that I wouldn't want this to carry on. He told me he would stop and so messaged this woman that they should probably give it a rest. A month later, he's contemplating breaking up with me. I had my suspicions that he carried on his regular conversations with this woman, but I didn't want to put a strain on the relationship by interrogating him about it. He claimed that he loved me and wanted to stay with me, but he's torn with the current state of our relationship. I was completely shocked and I hadn't realized he felt so bad about it. So I gave him some space. 3 days later, he came clean to me about messaging her and that it even got sexual between them. But it did not go beyond the messaging. Redditor 4, I caught my boyfriend after giving him many chances to confess and he didn't. I demanded he pay for couples therapy. We went for 2 months, talked it through and through, and we moved on. We are closer and stronger now than before and I truly believe that he will never make that mistake again. Honestly, you have to follow your heart. And read his reactions. If he is showing remorse and seems frightened to lose you, odds are he will learn from this situation and won't do it again hopefully. I'm sorry this happened. Op answer, thank you, that's reassuring. I don't want to be a total idiot for considering staying with him. I have good reason to believe he's willing to fight. Would you say that couples therapy was a prevalent aspect in the improvement of your relationship?
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.